My Codicon project is about delivering the knowledge you have to people of rural areas, farmers, people that want to augment their family income. And in order to achieve this objective, we need some technology that will put together all this knowledge and make it available to the people, not only during the project, but if possible, and later, after the end of the project. So my presentation is in a totally different direction, and being the last speaker, it's an advantage and disadvantage at the same time. Advantage because you have shared so many things, and you can direct your speech, your talking to a certain direction. And of course, it's disadvantage because everybody is tired and wants to finish and go to lunch. So I will skip some parts of my presentation in order to focus to selected areas that I find that are most important, and maybe will give room for discussion later, before lunch or after lunch. So generally, learning system is not a new idea, it's not a new topic. More and more, the delivery of learning today is done through internet and with the use of related technologies. Provide students and professionals, because we are talking about adult learning right here, provides a way to cover their needs, to enhance their skills in a self-paced mode, so they can study whenever they want, whenever they have time, and enable them to learn something new that will help them in their professional career or simply to develop, to increase their income. And of course, it's something that everybody is doing. So we at the EOS Larissa, we have studied extensively this e-learning technology, and last year we have finished the project where we have evaluated almost all learning management systems. As you can see, we have followed a very structured methodology that we specified what are the requirements from learning management systems. LMS stands for Learning Management System. So we have defined criteria, we have researched in all available systems in the market. Codes means components of the self, so what is available in the market. We applied various filtering mechanisms in order to end up with a short list of the most prominent and best tools available in the market. Of course, we knew which tools were the best, but we wanted a way, in a more structured way, in a more scientific way, to prove that this is the best we can have. And of course, if you check the technology, if you check what technology today is provided, you will see an extensive list of features, functionality that is available in our hands in order to use it. And this list, that I will not go through, I will not explain every bullet, simply what it says that there are various categories of functionalities, tools that are enhancing, assisting, helping communication, tools that are focusing in order to improve the productivity of the learning community, tools that make the students, the learners, to work closer together, functionality that assists training providers or academic staff to administer better the content and the participants, functionality that enables better delivery of the content of the course, tools that assist you in order to develop the content, and of course requirements that are related with hardware, software that is needed in order to run all this technology. And of course, this big picture has to be combined with a number of tools. The list of tools is quite extensive. This is a short list of the available LMS tools in the market. So you see that are either open source or commercial. Some of them are covering specific needs, some of them are covering everything. So obviously, not all of them to be used for an evaluation, so we have selected a number of criteria and we focused on these criteria that we thought that were the most appropriate. And these criteria were tuned based on questionnaires that were sent to adults, because we wanted to select a tool for adult education and distance learning. So we didn't want to have a tool for students that are attending classes every day on a weekly basis and things like that. This is tuned in a way to cover the needs mostly of adult education and distance learning. And this is the result of the questionnaire. So what the students would like to see in an LMS tool. So it was an extensive study. It took us 4 or 5 months to do it. And applying multi-criteria methods. Multi-criteria method is a selection methodology that try to combine different criteria. Criteria that were presented before. We have produced a list where Moodle was the best candidate for an LMS system that combines very rich functionality, user-friendliness, availability, low cost, and all these things. While the second in this list was Blackboard, that is a commercial tool, in some specific cases more user-friendly, but it comes with a yearly cost that it's quite high. Anyway, for this reason, we are proposing to the project to use this technology based on Moodle. Moodle is an open source software that is widely available and it is widely used in many universities, in many public, but as well in private organizations, providing either structured training or ad hoc training, anyway, providing education in all different forms, of all different types. So Moodle is an open source course management system developed by Martin, it's a difficult name to pronounce, Giamma, and as I said, it's used by thousands of institutions. Actually, what it does, it allows a course provider, professor, a teacher, because it's used from primary education to university education, in all levels of education, to create courses that are available in a virtual classroom. In this course, a number of people can participate, so we have a list of participants. The participants study the available material, and at the end, we can evaluate what they have learned using a number of predefined questions, quiz, multiple choice questions, all different types of questions that can exist. So, in our project, we have a need to train, but at the same time we have to need to assess this knowledge. So this tool can cover both high-level needs that we have. And of course, Moodle allows you to manipulate resources, assignments, messages, grades, give feedback, to define various schemas for delivering the training. And on the other hand, students can use forums, chats, glossaries, online resources in order to augment, to be assisted in this training, in this learning activity. And I'm not going to explain all these slides because it's difficult to follow and because it requires time to be explained. So I will go through and I will arrive to the next topic of my presentation, which is more related. You see here, for example, different types of quizzes that are available in Moodle. Generally, I have the opinion and I strongly believe that Moodle will cover all our needs, because if it has been used in thousands of universities, in thousands of cases, I cannot imagine a new case that is not already there. And if it's not already there, then you have as well the possibility to develop what you need as an extra. Because Moodle is an open source software, which means that we can modify it if there is a need. However, I forecast that we're not going to have such cases. So I have prepared a lot of slides, but let me go to the next topic, because this is extensive. Simply demonstrate the language. Okay, what we have done at Larissa, we tried to create a small demo of how the Marcoticon course will look like. And here we are. Okay. So what we need from a Marcoticon point of view is something easy to use, both for us and for the trainees. Because trainees are people that may have or may have not education on how to use a computer or how to use an LMS system. However, in Greece, farmers or people at the rural areas are using internet a lot, but I don't know if this is the case for everybody. So we need something that is user-friendly and easy to use. It has to be easily accessible, which means it has to be delivered through internet. It should provide for us collaboration features, so we can collaborate ourselves. Very important, it should be multilingual, because we have to support 4 languages: Italian, Bulgarian, Greek, and the English language, because this is the common language we have in order to work. And of course, as we said, to offer us at the same time not only the delivery of the course, but as well assessment, and if possible, automatic. So we try to develop through Moodle a small demo, as I said. You see over here, let me get it's in Italian, but I will find my way. You see over here that we have a number of courses. My 01 is, let's say, the first course. In this course, we have a number of participants, a number of reports, and a number of topics. When you click on the topic, you see a list with some introductory text giving you an overview of what to expect, what this topic is about. The next thing that somebody can do using this topic is go through the list of the information presented in this topic. So you see in our demo we have put an introductory topic about the history of mushrooms, where you find mushrooms, information as well available to us through our collaborators at the of Larissa's, Dimitris Natsopoulos and Dr. Kapsailis. After finishing your study through these topics, you can go and see what you have learned. So you can take a number of quizzes and ask a number of questions. they have many different forms. This is, for example, one question, simple one, asking you what is the type of this mushroom. For you, it might be very easy to answer to this question, but for me, that I don't know anything about mushrooms, it is already a challenge to say what is the name. Maybe in another question we ask characteristics, how I recognize this mushroom or not. So at the end, you have a number of questions that are assessing this knowledge, and then you can continue to the next topic. And after studying and passing a number of topics, then you can say that I have acquired a set of knowledge that is necessary in order to go and start collecting mushrooms. As an instructor, as a member of the training team, I can check the activity of the student anytime. I can see how many questions he has answered correctly with the first attempt, with the second attempt, how long he stayed online, what topics he has studied, and all these things. So let me start from the last one. So we as technology providers, we are confident that in my Goticon project, technology is not going to be a problem. So we strongly believe that this tool is able to cope with the needs, with the functionality needed. However, there are some important challenges that are not related with the technology, because in most cases technology is there, it's available or not, so it's not a problem. What are these challenges? My Goticon project is how to provide educational content. It's not about how to develop scientific information or to identify a new species or a new mushroom. So for me, what we need to do is take a reductionist approach, which means to limit down the information we have to what is needed for the farmers, for the participants. So our main challenge is to find what is useful for them, because you are the experts. You know everything that somebody can learn or can study, and from this huge set of information, you have to create the minimum set that is needed for them. So what you suggested as having a questionnaire to identify specific needs, I think that definitely is needed, but maybe should be more focused on this dimension. The second challenge we have is to organize the content, because this is not a trivial task. It's quite complex and demanding task, because the same content, we have to use it for learning. If possible, the same content will be used for assessment in a different form, of course. But if we write again and again the same information and translate again and again the same information, we will never finish during the project. We will finish after the duration of the project. To see if we can use the same information for dissemination. So it's necessary somebody to follow the course, or can simply see the information on the website that we have created. And of course, we have to use this information to translate in different languages. So this means that somebody from this project takes the responsibility for one specific, for a number of mushrooms. The other department is taking the responsibility for another list of mushrooms, and at the end we combine this information, we translate to all languages that needs to be translated. And of course, during your presentation, as a third, let's say an observer of the mushroom community here, if I had to follow a training, I would like to have answer to a large set of questions. For example, what is the legislation in this specific country? Giuseppe addressed, I think everybody addressed the issue of legislation, but it's different. So we should have a common part of information for all countries and a specific part only for the specific country, dedicated to the country. So if I was a farmer, I would like to know where to find the mushroom, which in some cases, you say it's an area. Is this sufficient? Because somebody has to go and search. When to collect it? Which time of the year? Do I need special tools to do my job properly? How to find it? How to identify what's addressed? But it has to be simple, to give simple guidelines to identify the mushrooms. How to collect it? What is the proper way to collect it? How to carry it, to move it? Should I put it in a plastic bag or I need special things to take care of? Take into account that we have to train people that do not know anything about mushrooms. Because if they already know, probably it's very easy to answer. But if you ask me how to carry them, I don't know. I know how to carry grapes because I have a small number of in my village. But how to preserve them? I saw one slide that they're cutting them in pieces and selling them later. Can they transform this to something that has more added value? For example, put it in a jar, put it in oil, put some other vegetables. I don't know. This is an important question that we have to answer to them, to deliver to them. Where to sell it? Maybe they don't know the answer to the question. How much, what price they have to sell it, indicative, where to sell it, and all this information. That some of them are not part of a typical scientific profile for a mushroom. So we have to augment in some cases the training material with this type of information in order to cover their needs, because this project is about people that want to augment their income or to have a job or something like this. So this is the main purpose. So we have to work in this direction. And of course, in order to achieve this, we have to collaborate efficiently, because we have the difficulty of the 4 languages. This is a factor that in many projects is underestimated, but translation is a tedious and difficult job. We have to use an attractive language for them, with no scientific or with a limited number of scientific names. And we have to go through the content again and again in order to provide quality content. Because if we just translate and put it on the website, okay, we are done with our obligation as project partners, but at the end, what we're going to have will not be useful. And I believe that it's not our intention. We have to provide something useful. Thank you very much for your attention. And I don't know, I have asked too many, I have put too many questions for discussion. But,